Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm your host, Nina.
Hello, everybody. I am your host, Shane, and today we are looking at Grammar Station Part B, and the topic is on a hike.
Hiking. Do you like hiking?
Yes, like hiking is just like taking like a nice long walk in like nature or something like that, right? Yeah, I do hike quite a bit. I like to go into Yangming Mountain to go hike around, and there's like a waterfall sometimes that I visit. And I really enjoy being out in nature and also getting some exercise.
Yeah, of course.
The only problem is during the summer, it's pretty hot.
And humid.
But during the winter, it's really nice. During the spring, it's really nice. But you get used to the heat eventually.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just part of living in Taiwan.
Yeah, well, the exercise and the sweating is good for you, so.
I guess so. Do you like hiking?
I used to like it a lot. Well, I still like it, but I don't do it as often.
Okay.
But whenever I do have friends come to Taipei, I always suggest going for a hike at Elephant Mountain.
That's like the classic place to take your foreign friends when they come to Taiwan. You say, hey, let's go to Elephant Mountain.
But that's also a very easy hike.
It's pretty easy, yeah. But it's a great view from there.
Is.
Okay, why don't we go ahead and get into today's dialogue.
Okay.
Eric and Ariel are hiking.
I am a little tired. Can we stop and take a break?
Sure. We can sit on those big rocks over there.
That is a good idea. I need to catch my breath.
You do that, and I can enjoy the sun and fresh air.
Nature is great. I am happy when I am in it.
All right, so we're looking at Grammar Station Part B. Like I said, it's on a hike.
Yes.
This is a dialogue, but first, of course, we need to know what a hike is. I did explain it in the intro, and really it just means like a long walk in nature or on a mountain or something like that. It's typically in nature where you take a hike.
Yeah.
You wouldn't walk down the street and walk for 5 blocks and say, I took a hike. No. It would be usually in nature. So for example, you could say something like, we went on a long hike in the park. So a park is a part that has nature, natural elements.
Yes.
You can go on a hike in a park. Maybe depends on the park.
Yeah, it
right?
does.
Maybe it has to be a big park.
Yeah, I think a hike generally also refers to walking in a place or space that's not that easy to walk in, right?
Right.
So like I'm hiking. There's usually some effort to it.
Yeah, you have to make a little bit of effort, like usually climb a little bit or go up and down.
Yes.
Like, going up and down kind of like a mountain.
A rock or something.
Something like that, right. Okay, so in this dialogue, we have Eric and Ariel are hiking. Okay, so Eric and Ariel, I'll be Eric, you'll be Ariel.
Okay.
And so what does it mean? It says they're hiking. So this is as a verb. We have described a hike, which is a noun. So as a verb, what does it mean to hike?
It means to walk a long distance in nature.
Yeah, right.
For example, we hiked in the mountains yesterday.
All right, so you could use this, of course, like I said, as a noun or a verb.
Yes.
Okay, so beginning the conversation, we have Eric.
You can be Eric.
That's me. I am a little tired. Can we stop and take a break?
Okay, so he's tired from hiking, right? They're on a hike or they're hiking. So he wants to take a break, maybe drink some water, right?
Maybe eat a little food or just rest, right? So he's tired, and tired just means needing rest or sleep.
Yes.
Yeah, so for example, I am tired after work.
Okay.
Yeah, which is pretty normal. After you work, to be tired, or after school to be tired. Because you put a lot of energy into your day.
All right, I am tired, so let's take a quick break to Tina.
Okay, let's go to Tina.
Hello, I'm Tina. Eric 和 Ariel 在健行。Eric 觉得有点累，问 Ariel 他们可以停下来休息吗？我们来看看单字 hike 名词健行。The winter hike through the mountains was cold, but was very beautiful. 穿过高山的冬季健行很冷，但是非常漂亮。Hike 也可以是动词哦。My friends and I often hike in the park on sunny days. 我和朋友们常在晴朗的日子里去公园健行。Tired 形容词疲累的。After playing tennis for 3 hours, the girl felt very tired. 打了3个小时的网球后，这个女孩觉得非常疲累。文法的部分刚刚提到了 take a break 休息 break 指的是休息暂停，是名词用法。比如说 Let's take a break and have some water after this lesson. 我们这堂课下课后先休息一下并喝点水吧。接着我们回到对话当中。
Okay, so Eric wanted a little break, right?
Wants to take a rest. Yeah.
Yes, so he was tired from the hike. And Ariel responds, sure, we can sit on those big rocks over there. Okay, so at least they have a little spot that they could take a rest in, right?
Yeah, and you mentioned when you're hiking, you did mention going over rocks.
Yes.
Like having to climb over rocks.
That's quite common, yeah.
Yeah, so there's some big rocks. You know, nature has lots of rocks in it. Okay, so Eric says, that is a good idea. I need to catch my breath.
Catch my breath.
That's an interesting one. Catch your breath?
Yeah, it's definitely not to actually catch it. To catch one's breath means to rest for a moment after being tired or out of breath. So you're just like, can finally take a deep breath, right?
Yeah, you feel like you can't, when you're breathing, like you can't breathe quickly enough to feel like you can calmly breathe again.
Exactly.
So it's like you're trying to catch up.
Exactly.
It's that kind of feeling, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So for example, he stopped running to catch his breath.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed when I used to go hiking more often, I wouldn't have to catch my breath. But since I don't hike as often as I used to, when I go on a hike, I notice that I have to stop and rest and to try to catch my breath.
Yeah.
Because I am so exhausted or tired.
Yeah, I think that's normal.
From hiking, yeah. Okay, why don't we go to Tina and we'll be right back.
Ariel 说，当然可以休息一下，他们可以坐在那里的大石块上。Eric 认为这是一个好主意，他需要喘口气。我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的文法。Catch one's breath， 某人喘口气。比如说 The runner stopped under a big tree to catch his breath. 那位跑者在大树下停下来喘口气。Runner 指的就是跑者。接着我们回到对话当中。
Okay, welcome back. And so, Eric and Ariel basically are hiking, right? And they're, needed to take a little bit of a break because hiking can be a little bit difficult or tiring. So you need to catch your breath. So why don't we catch our breath, go to the second part of the dialogue, and we'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
How often do you spend time in nature?
Not very often. However, I want to do it more often.
Cool. You can hike with me every weekend.
Welcome back, everybody. So we were on a hike, Eric and Ariel. And remember, Eric got a little bit tired and needed to catch his breath.
Yes.
So take a little break. So what does Ariel say?
So she says, you do that. And I can enjoy the sun and fresh air. Okay, so you take your break, you take a rest, and I'll just enjoy the sun while I wait for you.
Yeah, so actually they can both rest and both enjoy the sun and the fresh air. Sometimes when you're hiking, you know, you do stop to enjoy a view.
Yes.
Even if you're not catching your breath, you do want to stop because you'll see something beautiful on the way. Maybe it could be flowers, could be a view of the city from a really nice spot, right? And you want to enjoy. So to enjoy is a verb. It means to like doing something or to feel happy with something. So for example, you can say, I enjoy playing music with my friends.
Okay, and she wants to enjoy the fresh air. In this case, fresh means clean and cool. For example, I opened the window for some fresh air.
So what else could fresh mean? Like fresh could mean...
Like kind of like new. For example, fresh fruit, fresh food,
so
right?
when we talk about food, we could say that it's very fresh, like 新鲜, like that kind of thing. And so fresh could have different meanings in different situations. Okay, so Eric then says, nature is great.
Yes.
I am happy when I am in it. Yes, so I think that's a very great line because nature is great.
It is.
Right? It is really nice to, especially when you live in a big city like we do. We both live in Taipei.
Yes.
And living in Taipei, it's a big city, so when you can get out into nature and see some trees and some mountains or maybe some ocean, the feeling is really nice.
It is.
Getting away from all the buildings and things like that.
So what I love about Taipei is actually because even though it's a big city, you can find nature so near or so quickly, right?
That's true. You're surrounded by nature, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't we go to Tina and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Ariel 说 ，Eric 休息的时候，他也可以享受一下阳光和新鲜空气。Eric 惊叹大自然真美好，他沉浸其中时很快乐。我们来看看单字 enjoy 动词享受。We sat near the open window to enjoy the cool evening wind. 我们坐在开着的窗户旁，享受夜晚凉爽的风。Fresh 形容词新鲜的、清新的。The fruit market sells fresh apples and oranges every morning. 这个水果市场每天早上都贩卖新鲜的苹果和柳丁。接着我们回到对话当中。
Thank you, Tina. You know, I noticed that the names Eric and Ariel might be from The Little Mermaid, right?
Yeah, wow.
We love taking these names from movies or cartoons.
Or TV shows.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. Okay, so Ariel continues.
Yes, so she says, how often do you spend time in nature?
Okay.
How often?
So we know that he loves nature. Eric
Yes.
loves nature and he thinks nature is great. So she just wants to know, does he get a chance to be in nature very often? And he says, actually, not very often.
Okay.
However, I want to do it more often.
Okay, maybe he lives in the big city, right?
Yeah, might live in a big city where there's not a lot of nature around and it's not that easy to get into nature. I know for me, I live right next to Yangming Mountain. So it's pretty easy for me to get into nature. I don't have to walk very far to a hiking path. And that's what we'll say when you go hiking and the kind of road that you go on, we will call that a path.
Yes.
And that's how you kind of know that you're hiking is that you're on what we call a path.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so Ariel says, cool. You can hike with me every weekend. Wow. So Ariel hikes every weekend.
Wow.
That's a little bit too much for me.
Yeah,
but
might be a little bit too much for me
Right?
too. Yeah, maybe once or twice a month could be
Even that
okay.
is quite frequent, right? Quite often.
Yeah, depends. It depends on, some people hike as a form of exercise.
Ah, yes.
So I know when I used to hike more often, it was because it was the way that I exercised. So I would do it at least a couple of times a week.
Yes.
So it depends on if it's recreation or for exercise, and everybody's different, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to Tina. We'll be right back.
Ariel 问 Eric 多久会来大自然走走 ？Eric 说不是很长，不过他想更常来。Ariel 说太好了 ，Eric 每个周末都可以跟 Ariel 去健行。我们来看看文法。How often do you spend time in nature？ 你多久会来大自然走走 ？How often 用来询问做某事的频率，常会用 once a week 一周一次。Twice a month 一个月2次 every other day 每2天等频率副词的片语来回答哦。比如说 How often do you wash your bicycle？ 你多久洗一次你的脚踏车 I wash it twice a month 我一个月洗2次 Spend time in place 指的是花时间待在某地 Spend 指的是耗费花费三态是Spend, spent, spent. 比如说 Peter spent a lot of time in the library to read books. Peter 花很多时间待在图书馆里看書。接着我们回到对话当中。
Thank you, Tina. Now it sounds like Eric and Ariel had a good time on their hike, right? Okay, so let's review this dialogue and we will see you next time.
Okay, see you later. Bye-bye.
Eric and Ariel are hiking.
I am a little tired. Can we stop and take a break?
Sure. We can sit on those big rocks over there.
That is a good idea. I need to catch my breath.
You do that, and I can enjoy the sun and fresh air.
Nature is great. I am happy when I am in it.
How often do you spend time in nature?
Not very often. However, I want to do it more often.
Cool. You can hike with me every weekend.
"我们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 ，hike 名词、动词健行 ，tired 形容词疲累的 ，catch one's breath 某人喘口气 ，enjoy 动词享受 ，fresh 形容词新鲜的、清新的。接着我们来看文法的部分 ，take a break 休息。The players take breaks to drink water. 球员们休息去喝水。How often do you spend time in nature? 你多久会来大自然走走 ？How often 用来询问做某事的频率。How often do you go to the movies? 你多久会看一次电影 ？I go once a week. 我一周看一次。Spend time in place 指花时间待在某地方 I spend lots of time in my room. 我花很多时间待在我的房间里。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Shane, the others are planning to catch a movie tonight. You in?
Oh, I'd love to, but I really have to hit the sack. I've got to be up early tomorrow morning.
Hit a sack? What sack?
not an actual sack. It just means I need to go to bed.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it makes sense. You have to work tomorrow morning, right? Really early. So you should really get some rest.
Exactly. The last thing I need to do is oversleep and show up late to work.
Hello, everyone. Today we'll be discussing the phrase hit the sack.
That's right. It's just another way of saying go to bed.
The phrase comes from the old days when mattresses were sacks stuffed with hay. So when you lay down on one, you were literally hitting the sack.
Exactly. That's also why people sometimes say hit the hay instead.
Here's an example sentence using hit the sack. If we want to catch the early train, we'd better hit the sack soon.
Or he hit the sack as soon as he got home because he was completely exhausted.
So next time you want to say you're going to bed, you can switch it up and say you're going to hit the sack.
That's right, and that's all for today.
See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.